Hello everybody, welcome back to the workshop. So in this video, I'm going to do a little bit of a comparison. This is just to check out the comparison, do a little bit of comparison testing here, let you know what I've done with my results on this 55-pound, what they call a Pro Grade XL anvil that I bought on Amazon versus this 66-pound Acciaio Anvil, I believe that's how you pronounce it, anvil that I also bought. But I bought this one over on eBay as where I bought this one on Amazon, but this one's available on Amazon as well. I will put the affiliate links in the description for these so you can go check out these anvils if you're interested in reading up on the company's specific data about these two anvils. That way I don't have to bore you with all those nitty-gritty details and we can just get right into the video. So I bought both of these anvils, and why? Why did I buy both of these anvils? Let's settle that first and foremost. I bought both of these anvils for precisely this point. A lot of beginners are just getting into the craft, and you're wondering what anvil you should buy. And there's a lot of flashy marketing, a lot of just misinformation when it comes about them, just kind of driven out there by the companies themselves, and as well as just, propagated around the internet on what's a good anvil, what's not, based upon personal preference. So I hope these videos will help you out in making an informed buying decision when you go to take and buy an anvil. Now, I plan on doing a lot of different anvils this year, buying in quite a few and reviewing quite a few, and we'll just see how that goes and how long Roy's piggy bank lasts to be able to do that. But anyways, the goal is to take and help you all out there, and I hope that that is felt in these videos. So let's jump right into the differences, shall we? Obviously, this anvil's taller, this anvil's shorter. This anvil's a London pattern anvil. This here is what they call a European pattern, and or a lot of people know them as like a German pattern anvil. I preference myself a German pattern anvil or a European pattern over the London pattern anvil. That is a style choice that's based upon you. Both have their advantages and disadvantages. One advantage that the London pattern anvils usually have is they have a shelf that, with a cutting table that you can use to cut work off on so you don't have to damage the face, as where the European patterns usually do not have a shelf on them, and that can become a bit of a nuisance, so you'll have to take and drop in a cut-off plate or a cutting plate in the hardy hole. This horn over here on this 55-pounder that's not quite known right off the bat is this has more of an ellipse or like an elliptical type horn, so it's more like a farrier's type horn to where it has an arch on, it's got a flat and then two arch sides and then flats and then arched again like so. So it's not, it's like a round square, if you will. So it is not a perfectly round horn as where the Acciaio Anvil is, this little 66-pounder. Now, this is a 55-pound anvil. It looks bigger. But in reality, it's just taller. The mass is redistributed differently, where this is a wider and shorter fat anvil. This is a taller, more narrow anvil, if you will. The face on this one's just a little over 4 inches, and I'll check that right now. Or no, not a little over 4 inches. Sorry, 3.5 inches wide. That's exactly what it is. I don't know which anvil I was looking at that had over 4 inches. And this one, there you go, is a little over 4 inches. So it's 4.5 inch wide. So this here's 4.5 or thereabouts. This one here is 3.5. So you lose an inch in depth and you gain it basically in the height of the anvil is what's happened here. The hardy hole on this anvil is a 7/8 inch square hardy hole, where the hardy hole on this anvil is a 5/8 inch square hardy hole. That really doesn't matter a whole lot. It just means this you have to make smaller tooling for than this. I would still recommend making small tools. It's just as handy, especially when you're doing it by hand, to start with, smaller bar stock to make your hardy tools out of, versus having, say, a 7/8 or a 1 inch hardy hole, and you have to start with 1.25 inch stock, versus 5/8 you can start with like inch or less diameter stock and still be able to make a decent hardy tool out of it. The other main differences to this, I have bought a testing kit a hardness tester kit. It's a Subasan. It's made in Japan. These are hardness files. I'll put a link to those as well down in the description down below. And these go from 40 Rockwell all the way up to 65 Rockwell in hardness, and that's on the C scale. And I tested both of these anvils. This anvil came out to below 40 Rockwell. So 40 Rockwell just bit right into it. So it's probably in the 30 Rockwell or less range. It's probably right around 30 Rockwell would be my guess. So this is super soft, dead soft, if you will, and probably a little bit too soft for a professional grade blacksmithing. So the pro grade XL, I wouldn't get hung up on that. It's not a pro grade. It's not a professional grade anvil. Will this work for you as a hobbyist? Most likely yes. And it's a big step up from the Harbor Freight. But we'll get into all those comparisons at a later date when I compare all these different anvils side by sides. Anywho, this one here, however, Rockwell tested at between 45 and 50 Rockwell. So that goes to reason that the company states a Rockwell hardness around 48 to 52 Rockwell. At least that's the best I can gather from the various different, companies, online companies. It's all the same, probably all the same company, just by different surnames over here, pseudonames. But anyways, the best I can gain, some of them are claiming 52 Rockwell, other ones are claiming all the way down to say 45 Rockwell to 48 Rockwell. And I can confirm this one, it scratched right at 50 Rockwell. So most likely it would be down in that roughly that 48 Rockwell range. So 45 to 50 Rockwell. 45 wouldn't touch it, 50 would. So there you go. That's my anvil. Your results and mileage may vary. Again, it's hard to get a straight answer from the company. Yeah, they just don't answer straight answers. So just kind of one of the deals that you get. Both of these anvils are economically priced. I believe this anvil is a little bit cheaper than what this anvil is. I don't have the numbers right in front of me to remember it, so I'm not even going to try. Again, you can look at it yourself, and those prices do fluctuate depending on market demand and things of that nature. But I believe this anvil, we picked this anvil up for right around $100 US, plus some shipping on top of that, as where we picked up this anvil. Again, without having the exact figures on me, I believe it was 130 shipped to us. So they're very comparable in pricing. So which one should you buy then? Which one should you buy? Right off the gate, you probably want to, write off this anvil, but I would say hold the phone on that. If you had to choose between this anvil and maybe just a piece of junk steel that's all welded and cobbled together, I would go with this anvil. And the reason why I would do that is because it's important to be able to follow along in a classroom-like setting, an instructor. I'm working on an anvil that has a proper horn, has a proper hardy hole, it has a proper pritchel hole, it has proper edges. Like, I'm doing things on a proper anvil that is meant for professional grade use, right? If you pick out something and you've got a block of steel and it doesn't have those edges, it doesn't have stuff, it doesn't have a hardy hole, it doesn't have pritchel hole, or you've got to go cut stuff off in the it's going to be a different experience following along projects online. It won't translate as much. I can't communicate to you why doing certain blows are what they are, because you're not working on that. You're working on a sledgehammer stuck in the dirt somewhere. That's okay. That's what you have to do. That's fine. But to have something that is shaped like an anvil, that has all the features of an anvil, will help you get better acquainted with all the different facets of an anvil and be able to work. So I wouldn't necessarily write this off. Now, if it's a toss-up, in my mind, a toss-up between this anvil and this anvil, go for this anvil. No doubt, in my mind, absolutely for sure, get this anvil. This anvil is the much better option for you. If you're on the fence between these two, it's really not worth the discount that you're paying for this 55-pounder. I would spring the extra cash, no matter what it was costing, to probably grab this anvil up. So with that being said, let's do a little ball bearing drop test. I said I was going to do a side-by-side comparison and some testing. We're going to go ahead and drop it on here. This is not a great conclusive test. I've got some other rigging that's going to show a proper ball bearing test here soon. But you guys can see, holding it up, this does have rebound. So it's cast iron, but it does have rebound. But at the same point, it's leaving a lot of dents. Now, this ball bearing, it's a quick thing to note, the ball bearing that I'm using is a 1018 ball bearing. So it is made from 1018 carbon steel, just so you know. So basically mild steel. If you got like a 52-100 ball bearing, it's harder. It might dent surfaces even if they are harder surfaces. So keep that in mind. So here we go. So you guys seen that one. Not a whole lot of ring and just a little bit of rebound. Over here, again, not a lot of ring. But a lot more rebound. We'll just let that lay over there. So now you guys can see a little bit of a difference. Again, this is cast iron, this is cast steel. Both companies' websites, I'll go ahead and throw this out here while we're talking about these two. Both companies' websites list these as cast iron anvils. Some listings will say cast steel, other ones will say cast iron. These all say cast iron, which is good, it's true, it's cast iron. It is not cast steel. This over here, however, is said to be cast iron. Some people say cast steel. Some people say forged steel. This is not a drop forged item. This is a cast item. So no matter what they say, it's a cast steel anvil. They say cast iron, it's cast steel. If they say it's been drop forged, it is not drop forged. They're just using that in their metadata to try to get more views and clicks. It is a cast steel anvil. So let's put that to rest. So that's kind of an FAQ there for you. Again, I would use, if you're basing it just upon rebound, this is where I say the rebound test is just kind of ludicrous. This had rebound even though it's cast iron. It didn't just, suck up all your energy. So you'll be able to hammer on this. It's just a softer surface, so it is going to dent and distort as you use it. So, it might be better for non-ferrous materials. Copper, silver, brass, bronze, things like that might work better on this anvil. Of course, you can get the same mount done here, but if that's what you're into, this might make a great lap anvil, something that you're sitting at and doing silver work or copper work or demonstrations or shows. Also, another good use for this anvil is just for beginners. You got a buddy that wants to come over and swing at some hot steel and you don't want him hitting your nicer anvil that you do all your work on, give him the slightly less hard anvil to work on. He can work on that one, you can work on this one again, and you kind of get two prices for maybe the price of one anvil that you'd have to buy for just one really good supreme quality anvil. So that's it. That's kind of where I want to leave this video. Those are my initial thoughts. I went ahead and cut a separate block, if you have noticed, for this. I'm going to do a lot of different comparison testing for these anvils and keep everything as uniform as possible. So everything from the mounting to the block that it's sitting on, things of that nature. So we can do these different comparison tests as we go along, and you guys can get a visual demonstration of which one's better. This one here, you guys have seen people forge on anvils. I don't need to forge on this anvil for you guys to just see, hey, he's forging on an anvil. It's going to be what it is. The quality on it is good. It's a pretty decent shape anvil. Keep in mind about the Bondo on the horn, if I had mentioned that to you. Again, just keep in mind when you grind the horn, you're probably going to run into some Bondo and some pitting and things like that, whereas where this one you have a lot less dress-up work. So I hope that helps you make your decision on which anvil you should get. I hope that that kind of review on both these anvils have been helpful to you. If you haven't seen the whole video playlist on this, that'll be linked. All you guys have got to do is just go over there and check it out. There'll be a bunch of videos surrounding this anvil for the entire year of 2020. And also, if you've made it to this far in the video, this is where I'll tell you about the giveaway we're doing. Throughout the whole year of 2020, we will be giving away one of these 66-pound anvils. Not this one in particular, as this one's staying in my shop, but we are buying them from the manufacturer and shipping them straight to you or to that lucky winner that wins. And all you have to do is be a part of our live streams that we do once a month. So you're going to want to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell and set it for all notifications to get notified when we post. Otherwise, you'll miss the live stream, and that is one of the requirements. You have to be a part of the live stream in order to take and win one of these anvils. So we're going to be doing that all of 2020. I hope you'll join us. I hope you'll help celebrate 2020 with us and the year of the anvil that we're calling it. So without further ado, God bless each and every last one of you, and we will catch you on the next one. Thank you for watching this video.